Hello and welcome to another identity management video. In a previous video we did an in-place upgrade from FIM to MIM 2016 SP1 and I got a few questions from that about how you would do that in a side-by-side situation. So this video is going to look at doing a side-by-side upgrade from FIM 2010 R2 to MIM 2016 SP1. I've got a new environment for this video, so I'll quickly go through it with you. We've got a Windows 2016 domain controller, a Windows 10 desktop machine. We've then got the old environment, so the Windows Server 2008 environment, which has got a sync engine, portal, and an SSPR server. And we've also got a SQL 2008 box running, which hosts the databases. Our new environment is the same. We're going like for like. We've got a sync box, a portal box, and an SSPR box, and they're all running on Windows 2016. And we've also got a new SQL environment, which is also running on Windows 2016 and SQL Server 2016. In the previous video, I didn't actually have anything working in the FIM installation, but in this instance, in this environment, there is a working solution. We've got a on-premise HR system, which is just a SQL server. So we connect to that SQL environment and we import the users from there. They get projected into the metaverse, they get provisioned into AD and exported into the portal so they can connect to SSPR. They can do SSPR and group self-management. We've also got Azure AD Connect, and that takes those users from AD and puts them into Azure AD. And we've also got the Azure AD provisioning service, which is putting them into other cloud solutions. Currently it's just using Workplace for Facebook. So before we start going into any more detail, I just want to have a quick chat about how long this is going to take. Because in the previous video it looked like you could do it relatively quickly. And in my experience, you're probably looking at about 4 weeks from starting the project to upgrade to completion and the end of post go live support. And this might seem like a long time, but you've got a lot of prerequisites that you need to do. So you need to understand what your current solution is doing. You need to document any test cases and carry out those test cases to make sure that the solution's working as you expect. You need to do the upgrade in your dev and test environments to see if there's any issues or any problems you're going to experience. And then you've got to do the actual piece of work in the production environment. And finally, you've got to have some post-go live support just in case any issues pop up or any users have any unexpected issues. During the production upgrade, we want to try and keep the downtime to as small as possible. Now, some components, such as the sync engine or the portal, might have more downtime than the password reset components. And that's because once we move the databases from the old source to the new source, we want to make as few changes as possible to the sync engine and the portal datasets because they won't get carried across to the new environment. And one of the first things you need to do is move the databases from the old environment to the new environment, which means that you don't really want to be running any syncs or doing anything in the portal after that point because those changes won't get moved across. With the sync engine, it's not too bad because it's state-based. Once you've got the new environment up and running, you can just do some full imports and you'll get all those changes. But my preference is, if possible, not to run any syncs once the upgrades are started. The one exception is that I do feel it's okay to continue to use sort of PCNS and the self-service password reset portals in the old solution. And this is just to reduce the strain on Service Desk having to pick up this additional task during the go live activities. And using things like SQL aliases and A records and then host files in a new environment, we can minimize the time it takes to switch it over. When you come to do the production environment, it's probably best to allow yourself a week. So on day one, that's when the SQL databases will get moved from the old environment to the new environment, which is when the sync engine and the portal would stop being accessible. Or you'd have to potentially disable the portal so people can't log into it anymore, because otherwise they'll log in and make changes. And then so that'll probably take 2 to 3 days to get all those bits and pieces done. On the third day, that's hopefully when you'll be able to switch over those A records and SQL aliases to point to the new environment. So you'll probably have the SSPR system down then. But once that's completed and done, that'll be working. And in the last couple of days, we'll just be completing the full imports and full syncs on the sync engine just to make sure all the data's up to date and correct. And depending on how big and how long your syncs take, will affect how long that takes. I mentioned it very briefly in that sort of section about how long it's going to take, but testing is really important when doing a side-by-side upgrade. You need to make sure that you understand what your solution's doing and document it and test it before you start the upgrade. And why this is important is that once you do the upgrade, if anything stops working or doesn't work as you expect, you need to have a baseline to go back to understand, that wasn't working before, so therefore it's okay, it's not working in the new environment, or it's not working in the new environment, what's wrong? Is there an issue with the firewalls? Is there a permission issue? Is there an issue with the service account? What's the problem? I knew it used to work and now it doesn't work. So testing is really important before you start the upgrade, just to make sure that you have this baseline to go back to understand what's not working and why it's not working. And it's also great because if something that you thought was working isn't working in your current environment, it means that you won't spend time during the go live trying to fix it during the upgrade. So let's take a look at the new servers. We've got the sync engine in here. It's got the installation files that we need, and it's also got the host files set up here to point to those new servers. So when I come to install the sync engine, it will use the SQL alias and the A records, but it will point to the new SQL server and the new portal server rather than the old environment. On the portal box, we've got SharePoint 2016 already installed. We've got the host headers the same as the sync engine, and we've got the installation files on this box ready for us to use. Again, on the SSPR box, we've got the installation files, and we've installed IIS ready to install the password reset portal components. We don't need to worry about the Azure AD Connect box or the Identity Panel box for the upgrade. On the SQL box, we've got the databases moved across. So if we go into Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, we can connect to the new database server, and just confirm that the databases have been copied across correctly. And when we do the installation, we'll point at these databases so that the product will upgrade those databases from FIM to MIM, and it should just start working once we've done that upgrade. So while I'm waiting for this to load, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about what I've said so far, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button below. In the next video, what we're going to do is we will actually install the new components, because everything's now ready. We will then turn the A records and host headers off, or turn the host files off, and turn the A records to point to the new environment, and we'll just log in as a user and just see that it's all working and doing what we wanted to do. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.